In the meantime, if you are still hunting for a job, well, how about the IRS? Because they're hiring. Unfortunately, for now, they're hiring, well, mainly ex-IRS workers. And not just any ex-workers, actually ex-reprimanded workers. Kayleigh McEnany finds all of this very, very taxing. I read that and I said, you can't be serious. But that's what they're doing.
Yeah, they've hired 824 former employees with infractions since 2010. And what struck me, Neil, is 15 of those were actually caught falsifying forms, engaging in fraud, and looking at personal tax information.
All right, so why were they hired back when, in fact, you have a vast pool of unemployed people out there, many of whom are very good at accounting and adding and subtracting? Hire them. Because
it was the easy thing to do. And I think that hits at the brunt of the problem, which was public sector employment. There is no accountability. The accountability comes from the top. It comes from Obama and trickles on down. And you just don't have that sense of a private entrepreneur who has to hire the best, has to hire the brightest, has to hire the most efficient.
Well, I also think there's a lot of, if you like government and you believe in government workers, then believe me, they're fine government workers. You and I know them and all. But if your bias is toward the, federal workers who've been laid off or been downsized, they're the first guys, they're the go-to guys you go to, even if they left under nefarious circumstance.
Exactly. They're your own. They're the ones you own. They're the ones you protect. We saw this with the IRS. By the way, this was astonishing. They gave 1,100 employees bonuses who still owed back taxes. So I think that plays into this overarching picture of an entity that's just drunk on power, and they're going to cover for their friends.
All right, now, IRS, if you're watching, this is purely Kayleigh's view here. It wasn't mine. But anyway, where is all of this going? Because remember, this happened at the Securities and Exchange Commission. A lot of those guys are watching porn. They were briefly reprimanded, and they're back on the job doing God knows what. I'm not saying we all make mistakes and all of that, but in government, it seems to be more the rule than the exception.
That's exactly right. And, you know, the Republican Finance Committee has done as much as they can to expose some of these things going on within the IRS. But then it's so frustrating when you see Commissioner Koskinen brought before, you know, the Senate and essentially covers for people. And he's just
in fact, he's insulted by those who would question.
Absolutely. Yeah. You just see this cavalier, arrogant attitude where there is no accountability. And it comes from the top, as I said. A new president is when we're going to see change.
All right. So you're still kind of a maybe on President Obama. Kayleigh, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you again. Meanwhile,